Hey, I'm Kevin Clark. With me is Danny Kelly. We're going to mock the draft.
Let's do this.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a mock draft where we alternate. And the selections will be what we think the team should do. It's based on need, it's based on situation, it's based on the talent of the player.
Let's just go into number one. Like, is there any chance that it's not Kyler Murray?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a huge chance. Here's the thing. I can't walk down a hall at an NFL event without hearing the rumor that Kyler Murray is going to Arizona, to the point it's now suspicious. If you're talking to someone in the NFL and they're not like Kyler Murray is going number one to Arizona, they're lying to you and they're not in the NFL. Right. Because like everybody I talk to in the NFL is like, oh yeah, he's going number one. So it's so out there that it almost can't be true.
Right. Okay. Now let me ask you this. If you're Arizona, who are you taking?
So I would take Kyler Murray.
Okay, let's put him in
there.
We're putting him in there.
Run it back and keep Josh Rosen too.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And are you starting Rosen year one?
Yes.
This is kind of off topic, but okay. And
then
you have two good quarterbacks.
What's the downside?
Yeah, because you can trade him if he does really
well.
well.
You need a third-round pick for Josh Rosen? Do we need that?
No.
No, you don't need a third-round pick. You know what's really good is a good quarterback.
So I get the 49ers.
Big draft for them. Let's back up for a second because they're a good team. They weren't tanking or anything like that. Jimmy Garoppolo goes out early. Nick Mullins is a play-action god. Kyle Shanahan's got all the pieces.
Yeah.
With a good pick here, they're in the hunt for the NFC West.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to take a big jump on offense, getting Garoppolo back.
Yeah.
I think they need to get a lot better on defense, though. They have a lot of needs on that side of the ball. To me, the obvious and easy pick here is Bosa. Go with Nick Bosa. They need an edge rusher. Even with getting Dee Ford, they still need an edge rusher. That's kind of been one of their biggest, weaknesses on defense. Could potentially change the whole dynamic of their defense. So for me, if I'm the 49ers, I'm either getting a huge haul for this number 2 or I'm picking Nick Bosa at that spot.
Okay.
All right. So you get the Jets.
I get the Jets.
They have many needs.
With the third pick in the draft, I'm taking Montez Sweat, Mississippi State. Elite athlete.
This is a little bit off what everyone I think was saying, so that's interesting.
Who's everyone?
The mock drafters.
You and your draft cronies?
Draft Twitter, if you will. My cronies.
Yeah, your goons.
Okay, tell me about Sweat.
Montez
what do you like
Sweat,
about him?
I love athleticism.
He's freakishly athletic.
Freakishly athletic. 4.41 40-yard dash. By the way, 6'6", 260. 36 vertical jump, 125-inch broad jump, 3-cone drill at 7.
He has an enormous wingspan, too.
Wingspan.
Like rare wingspan.
The floor for him is just really good athletic freak.
Yeah.
And I'm in.
I think that is a very interesting pick. I don't know if I would take him over the likes of Josh Allen or Quinnen Williams. I like Quinnen Williams a lot. But his upside is maybe higher than any player in this draft, just based on his physical, like you said, his athleticism, his size, his length. Okay, Sweat. That's a little bit of a curveball. So now that takes us to the Raiders.
Hey, you're not mock drafting just anybody here.
I like that. The Raiders at number 4.
Yeah.
What do you think is their number 1 need in this spot?
Well, I got to tell you.
They've got several.
I got to tell you, they used to have a pretty good pass rusher. They got rid of him.
That is true.
John Gruden's been complaining ever since.
Yeah, that's a very strange situation.
So they could definitely use an edge guy, and there's a couple of D linemen who are available here.
Yeah,
you're making the pick, but I'm just saying.
So if I'm the Raiders, they've already got a couple pretty good interior pass rushers at this point. So I'm probably going with Josh Allen at this spot, even though I think I like Quinnen Williams as a player a little bit more, just based on need.
Why is Quinnen Williams falling in our draft?
This is strange. This is a little bit strange.
He's the new Aaron Donald.
I can't believe this. But yeah, I'm actually picking Josh Allen at this spot just because he's a very dynamic player. He can actually drop back. They can play him at the linebacker spot. They can pass rush. Insane athlete. He's actually just scratching the surface of his potential still, I think. He's going to be really good.
Take me through the criticism of him, because I've seen some criticism.
The question is, what is he? Because he's not necessarily a pure edge rusher where he's going to put his hand in the ground and just get upfield. At Kentucky, he played in a 2-point stance primarily, meaning he was standing up, dropped him back into coverage a lot. So he's a prototypical kind of like 3-4 guy. In this spot, I kind of like him. I think what they can do with him, they definitely need an edge rush. Like I said before, they already have a couple of good interior pass rushers. So I went kind of with the need here.
Well, this is pretty easy. You can never have enough pass rushers. So
Tampa Bay,
number 5, home run pick, Quinnen Williams.
There you go. So the other question is Gerald McCoy.
Yeah, Gerald McCoy.
Yeah,
right. So Gerald McCoy is not showing up.
Right. He could potentially be traded and/or cut. His future is in doubt with the Buccaneers.
So you bring in Quinnen Williams.
You want to know who my comp for Quinnen Williams is in the Ringer NFL Draft Guide?
I would love to know.
Gerald McCoy. There you go. I mean, I think this is a steal at number 5.
It's absolutely a steal.
Yeah.
And in fact, when rational people like NFL GMs start making these picks, it's not going to happen. All right. Speaking of rational, the New York Giants.
The New York Giants.
The New York Football Giants. Dave Gettleman with his finger on the button, baby.
Oh, man. So
running back. He goes running back here.
I mean, can you imagine the depth they could have at running back if they had Barkley and Josh Jacobs? We're doing this with what we think these teams should do.
Should do.
Absolutely.
Not will do, should do.
I think they should.
That's why
they should.
We're picking a good player instead of whatever Dave Gettleman
I think
is.
the sooner the Eli Manning era is over,
yeah,
probably the better for the Giants. I'm going with Dwayne Haskins.
Wow.
This is easy.
Tell us about Haskins.
Haskins, 1-year starter, so there's some question on kind of his experience.
Sure.
Playing under center, all that. But incredibly productive.
Playing under center. What are you, John Elway now?
Yeah.
For those of us who don't know,
Yeah.
John Elway is a big proponent of playing under center because
Yeah.
he thinks it's 1986.
Yeah. I meant just playing the quarterback position
sure.
in general. Not very experienced, but with what we saw last year, very good, very productive. I mean, 50 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Led the entire country. I think with Eli there still, it sounds like they're not getting rid of him at this point. That would be a good bridge. That would give them the chance to kind of get his feet under him in the NFL. He's been groomed since a young age to be a quarterback. I think he's got all the tools. The one question is he's a little bit inaccurate deep down the field, but in the short and intermediate areas, he's really just very good. And he does all the things before the snap, like set protections.
Sure.
Read the defense. He goes through his reads at the snap. He's got a good pump fake. There's just a lot of things to like about him. He can read it. Like the big thing is, he showed signs of reading a defense. So, I think I like that pick. Gives him a chance to have a quarterback of the future.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Number 7. They have their quarterback.
I want to take.
For now.
I want everybody to know that I want to take either Andre Dillard or Caleb McGarry here because all I care about is athletic testing. I have a philosophy I've shared many times that you should just take athletes and figure everything else out. But I don't know. I haven't maybe watched enough tape to know why those are bad players.
They're not bad players. I think actually you could make the argument that Andre Dillard is the best pass protecting offensive lineman in the draft.
However, you have him going 22.
I will say,
Tell me
he
about
was
it.
in the Wazoo offense, air
Sure.
raid. They don't run the ball very much.
So we never saw him.
Pairing him with the Jags is interesting or questionable because he's a very big question mark at run blocking, which is a big part of their philosophy.
He's a question mark in so much that he was bad at it or we didn't see enough
We
of
just
him?
didn't see enough of it. He's got the athletic traits to be a very good passer.
Counterpoint. What you want the Jaguars' running game to fail so thoroughly and efficiently that they never run the ball again.
I mean, I can get behind that.
Don't draft a running back 4th overall. Don't do it.
No,
They did it.
didn't work.
Set the franchise back.
Yeah.
Ever heard of a guy named Patrick Mahomes?
I have.
He was on the board.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson also. So who are you going with? Are you gonna
No, I'm upset. I want to take Andre Dillard here, and I'm not going to.
just do Jonah Williams?
I'm going to take Jonah Williams. I've been guilted into it.
Makes more sense. He can start at the right side. They have Cam Robinson at left tackle already. They could. Switch
I don't feel
those guys
good
up.
about this.
Well,
My large athletic adult son is on the board still.
yeah. He's gonna go.
I'm gonna overdraft him. I'm gonna overdraft him later.
All right, you'll have your chance.
Let me overdraft him later.
To me, this is a little more realistic.
All right, the Lions. You're gonna take Brian Burns, who is also one of my large adult sons.
I love Brian Burns.
Yeah.
I think this is a very good pick for the Lions. Obviously, they did some things in free agency to upgrade the defensive line.
Now he gets Matt
Trey
Patricia.
Flowers, yeah. And now add in Brian Burns. He's, to me, probably the most explosive pass rusher, just first step pass rusher in this draft. He has incredible upside because he's really bendy. He's got like Von Miller bendiness. He's not Von Miller, mind you.
Von Miller bendiness, boys.
Is that a term, bendiness?
Absolutely.
He's Gumby.
Gumby, yeah, absolutely.
He's absolutely Gumby. He's got to prove that he can keep his weight on. He gained a bunch of weight to do the combine because he was like 235 last season, which is just too small. But very skilled player. I like him here at this spot. I think I think he's got huge upside. Top 10 pick doesn't scare me for Brian Burns. All right, you got the Bills.
Okay, so I think the Bills would have been a dream destination for Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Because Josh Allen just chucks the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Get a guy open. Let's go.
Let's do this. I think I know who you're going to go with here.
Well, I started that sentence without knowing who I was going to go with, so I appreciate that.
So you're looking for somebody he can chuck the ball down the
Yeah,
field
but I
to.
just don't. It's too early for. You have DK Metcalf as your top receiver, which is just outrageous.
Why is that outrageous?
I think he is a good example of athleticism not
Are you
mattering.
worried about the three cone?
He can't move side to side.
Shot?
He's like Derek Zoolander.
He can't go left?
No, he can't go in. He can't go right.
He's not an ambi-turner.
He's not Gumby. He doesn't have Von Miller bendiness.
No, he doesn't. But does he need it?
I feel like he could just say
Does
bend.
he need it in the Bills' offense? Just let Josh Allen chuck it to him deep.
We've already got Foster to do that.
I guess.
All right, the needs for Buffalo are wide receiver, offensive tackle, defensive end, and cornerback.
Plus probably a few other places too. What's the best value here?
I'm gonna go slightly off the board.
Okay.
I'm going to take.
This is a very good pause for dramatic effect.
Devin Bush.
Oh, okay.
Athletic.
Check.
Blitzes.
He's very good at blitzing.
Very good blitzer. He's a very good blitzer.
Man, that's actually really fun. I don't know if I've seen that. I like that a lot.
Let's get to the Broncos.
All right, so we got two quarterbacks off the board here.
Please give them Drew Lock.
Oh,
For the love of God, give them Drew Lock.
I feel like I have to at this point. They need a quarterback. I'd feel more comfortable giving them Haskins, but he's off the board at this point. I don't like Daniel Jones. I don't like Daniel Jones as much as
Lock. That's how the draft works.
I know.
You can't just give.
They're gonna have to trade up for one of these guys. I'm giving him Lock. Elway has gone to see Lock play several times this year. He's enamored with him, I think. Strong arm, athletic guy. Reminds me of
John Elway?
No, Jay Cutler. He's got a lot of things that he needs to clean up. I think he makes too many wild passes, which is why he reminds me of Jay Cutler, but he's got tons of arm talent. He's athletic. It would be surprising if they don't go with him at this spot. I'll put it that way. So I think this is what they're going to do, and I think they need a quarterback because Flacco is not the answer there long term.
I guess the Bengals are going to take Greedy Williams. Best player available.
Mm-hmm.
It's between him or Juwan Taylor.
I could see either of those.
Either of those are a need. I'm going to go Greedy Williams.
I never ever know what to feel about the Bengals.
The Bengals?
Yeah. I could see it. I think I like Greedy Williams. I don't think the tackling thing is as big of a deal as people are making it out to be.
It's just football. It's just the core part of football.
Coverage is more important to me. You can teach him to tackle, right?
No. If he doesn't...
You can teach him to have
As Bill
effort.
Parcells likes to say, if he doesn't bite as a pup, he's not going to bite as a dog.
Wow, that is an extremely good football guy comment. Okay, I got the Packers, number 12.
A lot of pressure here.
Yeah.
Got time to... New coach, plus you're trying to extend Aaron Rodgers' career.
Yeah.
They went defensive back heavy last year.
They did. I don't think
And they hit. Jair Alexander, very good player.
So the Packers really did a lot of work on their defense in free agency.
Right,
signed a couple of pass rushers, edge rushers.
That's why I think they're going.
You think they're going offense with the first pick?
Why? Do you think they're just going to keep going defense?
I don't know. I think they could do either.
Offensive head coach Matt LaFleur.
LaFleur, yeah. Okay.
LaFleursies.
So I'm going with T.J. Hawkinson here. I think, and Mays has talked about this a bunch, our esteemed colleague Robert Mays, they need a guy who can stress the middle of the field. Jimmy Graham is not what he used to be. He's still potentially a threat in the red zone.
Maybe.
But right now, they've got a bunch of just question marks at the receiver position outside of Devontae Adams. So I think having a guy like Hawkinson who can contribute in the run game, contribute as a pass catcher, they can line him up in line, outside, do a lot of different things. I think I could see him being Aaron Rodgers' best friend like immediately. I think they could really, I think he would be an impact guy from day one.
I had the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Needs everything.
Yeah.
Is there something that they
They're
don't
rebuilding.
have needs for? Is it like maybe safety if they keep Rashad Jones?
I would say their secondary.
Yeah, Ed Oliver. Give me Ed Oliver.
I like it. And to me, this is a huge steal.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
Now, there's questions about, this is a very football guy statement, question about his hand placement.
Yeah. I think that's something
you can
that
teach that.
You can coach guys up.
Coach that. Unlike Greedy Williams tackling.
Maybe.
You can teach hand placement.
Yeah. You can't teach his
athleticism.
His athleticism, his agility. I like that pick, Ed Oliver.
To the Falcons pick.
I think the Falcons are going to be really sad if the Dolphins pick Ed Oliver at number 13 because he would be a perfect spot for them. I really like Cleveland Ferrell from Clemson. He's a very good player. I like him. He's got length. He's explosive his first step is explosive.
Yeah.
Highly productive. Obviously, he was playing on a very good defensive line at Clemson, but I think he was creating for himself. Very good player. I think he's a really high floor pass rusher. Plug him in to that defense, and I think he would produce for them from day one. So I like that. I think he's a very good player. People are kind of just looking past him at this point.
Speaking of needs everything, I'm getting a lot of the big needs teams. Washington Redskins.
Yeah, this is
you
easy.
can really go anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the needs you guys came up with. Cornerback, safety, linebacker, wide receiver, offensive line, edge, QB. So
only the most important positions in football.
So
do you want to give them a defensive player, or do you want to upgrade their offense for whoever they've got?
I don't know where to begin with them.
Yeah.
I don't know where
you
to
begin
begin
with them. You got to give Case Keenum, I guess, is going to be their starter this year.
He is. You got to give him something to work with?
I would say so. I mean, right now they've got Paul Richardson as, I guess, their number one. Josh Dotson. I mean, their pass catcher core is spotty at best. Jordan Reed can't stay healthy.
I think they're going to go cornerback here. I think they go DeAndre Baker.
Ooh, okay. I like it. Baker he's sticky as a coverage guy. He's very good. He can tackle too, which is, I think, why you'll like him the most. He's not like afraid to get in there and mix it up. He'll lay some licks, if you will. What do you think of that?
I just want to see how long I let you sticky. He'll lay some leg. I just wanted to see how long you go
Was this
with
your
that.
grit test? Have you heard about the Seahawks grit test?
I'm aware
Their
of the grit
staring
test.
contest?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was your grit test. I'm not going to do this with you right now. Wait, who won that?
I did.
That gives me the Panthers at number 16.
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy. To me, the biggest thing with the Panthers is they still they're getting really old at the edge rusher position. I think I'm not quite as high on Rashawn Gary as everyone else is in what you'd might call draft Twitter, but I think he has potential athletically to develop into a really top-tier guy. He kind of fits, I think, their personality as a pass rusher. He's a very physical, big guy. So I'm going with Rashawn Gary, edge rusher / I think he could actually probably potentially play inside a little bit too, but edge rusher out of Michigan, Rashawn Gary.
New York Giants, tough to get in Dave Gettleman's head, again, as we said. Needs quarterback, wide receiver, offensive tackle, cornerback, edge linebacker. With the 6th pick, we addressed quarterback. So take that off for the 17th. So we're still wide receiver, offensive tackle, cornerback, edge, and linebacker. Other than that, they're set.
Yeah.
They're going to go 4-12.
Oh, man.
Devin White still on the board.
Yeah. That's a surprise.
It is.
He could go top 10.
I mean, we have some weird, offensive tackle is dropping. Christian Wilkins is dropping. I'm going to go Devin White here, though.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick for them. I mean, they're rebuilding at this point. It seems like they've gotten rid of a lot of their, I guess their big pieces or whatever.
Oh, I hadn't noticed.
But I mean, he's tenacious. He's fast. He's like Devin Bush. He's a good blitzer. He's super aggressive. I think he could set the tone for that defense. I like that pick. I think that makes a lot of sense. And if he falls to this spot, I think that'll be a steal for the Giants. So we've done good things for the Giants in this draft, I will say.
We've improved the Giants.
I mean, I think Haskins would...
Let us run the Giants.
Haskins would probably be better off.
I look in to tell John Mara to let me run the Giants? All of them. Giants.
So we got the Vikings at number 18. I think they still have needs on their offensive line, defensive line. You know who I like here? I think Jawan Taylor is a really interesting fit for them because he's the kind of guy who could play guard. I think he played right tackle primarily for Florida, but very physical, tough guy. I think he could play either guard or tackle. That's what the Vikings need. They need some of that flexibility. So, a lot of people have Taylor going in the top 10, so I think this is another one of those steals, I think, for the Vikings this late.
Tennessee Titans. Needs guard, defensive tackle, edge, quarterback. Interesting.
Yeah.
Christian Wilkins, Clemson.
Yeah, that's a match that I've seen a lot of people make. Wilkins is a very versatile defensive tackle. He could play on the edge. He played on the edge a little bit. He's like 300-plus pounds. He played on the edge in 2017 for Clemson a little bit. But he's super athletic, very good first step. He just has a nose for the football. Like, he's always around the ball. Put him in there next to Jarrell Casey. I think that makes a lot of sense. They would have a really good interior defensive line. A lot of versatility, which I'm guessing Vrabel likes a lot.
Let's go.
So next we got the Steelers at 20. They got offensive line needs, cornerback, receiver, edge, linebacker, I think. I've seen all kinds of positions.
You know what they could use?
A very good receiver?
They could use the best receiver in football. They used to have that. What happened?
Yeah, they traded him.
I hope they got a lot in return.
Let's give him receiver then. I mean, the Steelers...
Well, they have Juju.
They do. But he probably needs some help. Who do you like more at this spot, DK Metcalf or Hakeem Butler?
Well, I think DK Metcalf is really bad.
Yeah. This would be this would be an upset, but let's go with Hakeem Butler as the first receiver to come off the board. He's tall, he's really, really fast, got a huge catch radius. He's more agile than I think most 6'5" players are. What do you think? I think
as long as it's not DK Metcalf.
All right, there we go.
The Seahawks are next.
Oh, you get the
Seattle
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
All right.
I would take, because they understand athleticism, I would take Andre Dillard. However, Andre Dillard can't run block.
Well, I mean, he's inexperienced at run blocking.
Well, what do the Seahawks want to do?
They really like running a lot.
They love it.
You know who would fit here, I think, is Cody Ford, Oklahoma tackle, who is still on the board. He's a mauler in the run game, very good pass blocker, can play guard if they needed him to, which is, the Seahawks seem to really like.
That's not what I'm giving.
Okay.
You can't, don't. Just because you like the Seahawks doesn't mean you get the pick.
Who are you going to go with?
I'm going to give him Noah Fant.
I can see that. TJ Hawkinson's off the board, so, I mean, he's the clear next best.
Tight end Iowa. Noah Fant, tight end Iowa.
Super athletic, field stretcher. The Seahawks in the past have traded a first-round pick for a dynamic pass-catching receiver, or tight end in Jimmy Graham. So they clearly value that position. I think
they lost that trade.
They did. The thing about Fant that I like here is he's actually not. He's a good blocker. He has potential to be a very good blocker too.
They can run the ball more.
Yeah, they love running the ball. They got Will Dissly from last year coming back. They could do some multi-tight end stuff. But Fant is one of the most athletic tight ends of the last 10 years. You know,
they love it. They love Spark.
He can get
there.
downfield.
That's
they do love Spark. Yep. So yeah, that's a good pick right there.
Ravens.
First
post Ozzie Newsome draft. Mm-hmm. So we don't really know what they're going to do.
So there's no precedent for. Okay, if you're looking at what they should do, what they need on defense they need edge rushers. You know, they just lost C.J. Mosley, so they could probably use a linebacker. But offensively, can you name me a few of their receivers right now?
John Brown. Is he gone?
He's
Did he
gone.
sign somewhere else?
Yeah, he signed with the Bills.
That's great. That's a great signing for the Bills. Wait, Max Williams.
Nope.
Where's he?
He's a free agent. There we go.
He's just not going to sign anywhere?
Yeah. Here's my point. They need receivers. They have a young quarterback. In theory, they want him to pass the ball some.
What's going on with I've never heard of any of these players.
Right.
Is this fake? Could they not get the rights to the real Ravens and they just generated random names?
Right. Yeah, so they need a receiver badly. I don't want to give him DK Metcalf. I don't think that really fits.
Chris Moore is not a real person.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen him play? I haven't. I don't remember.
Their fourth string tight end is named Nick Keiser. That's fake. They have a running back named Tyler Irvin.
I'm giving him N'Keal Harry at this spot. I
Whoa.
think he is number one, and I think this is important. He's a very good run blocker. He's a big guy, very physical. He looks to bury the guy across from him, so that's huge. Number two, I think he can play all over the field. Lamar Jackson, to me, was most comfortable throwing kind of these short slant routes over the middle field stuff. That's why I think they've been so big on signing tight ends. But yeah, to me, he perfectly fits what they want to do. Good run blocking, big physical over the middle guy. He can play outside too. I think he's a really good player. So to me, this one is a good fit.
I get to do it. Houston is taking my large adult athletic son, Andre Dillard at 22.
Yeah.
Need a tackle.
Perfect fit.
Deshaun Watson got clobbered
Give him
last
somebody
year.
that knows how to pass protect.
Please.
Yes.
Save Deshaun Watson.
Why haven't they done anything on the offensive line?
What do you mean? They just took Andre Dillard
Before
in this fake
Before
draft.
this. I mean, I think this is long overdue. They desperately need somebody who can pass protect. He's a left tackle too. Like I think he can play left tackle in the NFL.
I love him.
Good feet, highly athletic, as you know. I think that's a great pick. I think that's actually a pretty, realistic spot for him too in terms of how high he could go.
So let's stop right here and point out we have 3 people who are dropping relative
Based
to your
on-
last mock draft. One is Cody Ford, who you had at 11. We're now at pick 24.
Yeah. And I could see this happening in reality.
One is Byron Murphy, cornerback out of Washington. One is
Love
DK
Murphy.
Metcalf, who can't turn left or right.
So we got the Raiders at number 24. I think one of these could definitely.
I think that Byron Murphy could.
I think Murphy is a great fit for them.
So, but it's your pick. I don't want to do what you try to do with me to the Seahawks.
No, I
I don't want to make a pick.
Murphy
for you.
Murphy is one of my favorite players in this entire draft.
Then why haven't you picked him?
I don't know if the NFL likes him quite as much as me, to be honest. I think his size.
What do you like about him that other people don't?
I think his long speed is a question mark. In terms
speed
of
over a
his
long
speed,
period of
speed
long
deep down the
period of time.
field, he could potentially have a vulnerability there. He's not as big as some of the other guys at the position in this class, but I think he makes up for those two issues with just incredible instincts. He's able to read what the offense is doing, read the quarterback's eyes, and jump balls. He's just very instinctive, good ball skills, just highly athletic in the short area, and he makes up for kind of that lack of, I think, deep speed. So he's a playmaker. He's a guy that's going to create turnovers. The Raiders absolutely need that. They need more depth. They need more talent at the cornerback spot. I think this is a really good, logical fit. I think, it makes sense for them.
Okay. Philadelphia Eagles, Do we love local people? Yeah, we gotta. Philadelphia Eagles have a local guy in their backyard. Tough as hell. Good cornerback. With the 25th overall pick, I'm giving the Philadelphia Eagles Rock Ya-Sin from Temple. Yeah. I love him.
He's tough. He's uber confident, which I think you absolutely need to be when you're a cornerback. He's physical. He's very athletic. He has the same kind of deal. There's some concerns about his long speed in the sense of keeping up with a guy deep down the field, but like Murphy, he's very instinctive, very aggressive. Yeah. Jumps routes. He'll press a receiver and really be physical with him on the outside. So yeah, I like that pick a lot. I think he's going to be a good player. The Colts. They're
just going to draft an all-pro.
Yeah. The Colts, I think, could do a number of things at this spot because, honestly, they've done so much good work in free agency over the last couple of years in the draft. They have a lot of different options. They could go receiver.
Needs a wide receiver, edge, cornerback, linebacker.
Yeah. Or they could just go with, any other position and just kind of like, they really could take their pick here. I personally like Jeffrey Simmons at this spot because he's going to fall because he tore his ACL in training. He's probably not going to play for most of, if not all of his rookie season. But he is a top 10 talent, if not higher. He's really, really good. I've compared him to Fletcher Cox. He's just a disruptor from the inside. I think he has, all-pro potential. To get him at number 26 would just be such a Ballard move. And even though he's probably not going to play for most of the season, I think, they're building for, the long-term future. So I like the Jeffrey Simmons pick right here. I just think he'd be a steal at this spot. It's at the point where, there's not quite as many blue chip talents at this spot in the draft, and he is an absolute blue chip. So I like that right there. So the Raiders.
I've lost the spreadsheet. I got it.
The third pick of the first round. Let's go back over what they've already gotten. They got Byron Murphy at number 24 and Josh Allen at number 4. So they've gotten two very good defenders. Do they go offense here?
Is
this the running back spot? Is this the first time, or is this the first running back?
So they get Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
You might need help on the offense there. I've already taken 2 defenders.
Yeah.
Let's bring in Marquise Brown.
Ooh, I like that a lot. Again, my question is, they're going to have multiple extremely good deep threats and Derek Carr at quarterback. Do you think he'll buck the last few years of just checking it down all the time and go deep?
No, I don't.
So you think they're going to get a new quarterback eventually?
No, I just think they're going to be bad.
I really like Brown. He's a very dynamic player. He can play outside. He can play in the slot. He's obviously very good deep. He's got the speed to get off press. He doesn't really have any trouble with that. He's actually way better as a run after the catch guy than you'd think based on a 166-pound dude. He's very physical. Like he can, if he sees a crease, he can hit it and just like he's gone. This doesn't make any sense with Derek Carr at quarterback, but the Raiders don't make sense.
Oh, you want to start now with the what makes sense for Oakland thing?
No.
Chargers are in Los Angeles now? They need a right tackle, a defensive tackle, and a safety according to the team needs section.
Yeah, I like Cody Ford here. I think this is where the fall stops for Ford. He's a guy who can play tackle. I think he could play guard if they needed him to. I think, their offensive line, they still need to add some guys. They need talent there. And getting a guy like him, he's good in the run game, good in the pass game. I think the Chargers want to have balance. They've got good running backs. And obviously, they're in kind of the last few years of Phillip Rivers' career. Give him some protection, and he'll tear you up. So, yeah, I like that. Cody Ford, offensive tackle / guard. So we got the Chiefs at number 29.
Yeah. So defensive back, edge rusher, center.
Maybe, yeah. Do you think...
So the Chiefs are one of these teams that love athletic testing, and that's why I'm honing in on a couple of guys, but they're not really, unless they... I think they're probably just going to trade down, dude. I think they're just going to trade
maybe.
down.
Okay, here, let me throw a couple names out for you.
I know what they're going to do.
Chauncey Gardner.
I know what they're going to do.
Check out Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from Florida.
Yeah, is he athletic?
I think he ran in the 4.4s. Very athletic guy. He plays basically. He's like a slot corner safety hybrid. The one edge rusher that's still on the board is Ja'Kai Polite, who has had
the least athletic person on the planet.
terrible.
I don't like this at all, but I'm going to give it Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Florida, to the Chiefs. I don't like it.
Here's what I like about it.
I hate this.
Pair him with Honey Badger,
Uh-huh.
and they could do some really interesting stuff in that secondary. As you know, Tyrann Mathieu can kind of play wherever. He can play over the slot. He can play deep. Earlier in his career, he was more of like just a slot cornerback, and later he's been kind of a free
This guy's
safety.
just alarmingly unathletic.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson?
Yeah, dude.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Give me the
56th percentile in the vertical jump, 28th percentile in the broad jump. This is a disaster. Fire me. Fire me.
Okay, so we got the Packers at number 30 with their first pick in the draft. At number 12, we gave them T.J. Hawkinson. Who do you like here? Do you want to go defense at this spot?
It's your pick.
They need, potentially still good receiver, offensive line, linebacker. Man, who's still left on the board at this point? How is DK Metcalf still here? Because you hate him. Because you hate him.
Move.
You know what? I'm gonna go Jerry Tillery at this spot. Since I already gave them a pass catcher in Hawkinson, I'm going Tillery. I think he's got the upside to be a really, really good interior pass rusher. Just another guy on that defensive line that could be disruptive. I think he would help out with the two guys that they signed in free agency on the edge. Really just, high potential, long, athletic dude. I think I like him a lot. Give him to the Packers right there. All right.
Rams, very smart franchise. Don't need to spend a lot of time on this. Let's give him the athletic guy from Fife, Washington. Where's Fife?
It's just north of Tacoma.
You been there?
Yeah.
How is it?
It's fine.
Well, it's about to be the home of Rams offensive tackle Caleb McGarry.
All right, sneak him in.
Ultra athletic.
Patriots final pick of the first round. I mean, it's almost the same kind of question as who are their receivers at this point. Julian Edelman, clearly their top guy still. Re-signed Philip Dorsett, but I think they need another guy on the outside that can get deep. I'm giving them DK Metcalf. There are definitely question marks about his agility, his ability to kind of like turn the corner and things like that on shorter routes, but his ability to get over the top of a defense, I think, stretches the defense. You have to have him in mind when he lines up on the outside, and I think that's plays into what the Patriots want to do. I think he has really, really high potential, and it's kind of crazy that he's fallen this far. But yeah, DK Metcalf, receiver out of Ole Miss to the Patriots, probably a steal. Very much Patriots-like there. All right, that's it.
We're done?
That's
We're not going to
32.
do the second round?
I hope not. There's quite a few good players in the second round here. I think that's the definition of this draft is the late first round and most of the second round is like there's a lot of good players. That's a plateau right there of a lot of good players.
We learned a lot today.
We did.
What was your favorite thing?
Just spending time with you mostly.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I agree.